I'm very happy, obviously, coming out of this game with a win. I have such a massive, massive respect for Navy and Army, the academies in this league, what they do day in and day out, and what they commit to as it relates to serving us, civilians, and protecting us is just tremendous. It's tremendous. It's commendable, and I admire everything that program is about. This was a hard-fought win. It was a hard-fought win. It was a come-from-behind win against a team that's very physical, and I'm really proud of these two guys in particular, but it was a group effort. I thought that everyone that got in the game contributed to in some way, shape, or form to the run we made in the second half. At some points, holding some world of sustainability during times and stretches in the first half where we weren't putting the ball in the basket. We pride ourselves on defense. In the second half, specifically, they were 28% from the three-point line, 35% from the field, and overall, closer to 39% than 45% at 41%. When we don't turn the ball over, when we play with purpose, when these two guys take that leadership role into helping us win basketball games, we look like a pretty darn good basketball team, and that comes from the work. This group practices very hard, and they trust the work that they put in, so I'm very proud of them. And this was just a tremendous home Patriot League win for us. You know what? No, I wasn't. I think that for me personally, the last two games in particular, my role has to, of course, is the intensity piece that most people see on the sideline, but more of a poised leader so that these guys can do what they do. And Navy's a good team, regardless of the record. They have played some really close games in conference play, and we know that. So they made some shots, and we weren't making shots. And I thought I recently watched a video where Mark Pope, who's head coach of Kentucky, learned early in his head coaching career not to watch the scoreboard, watch the flow. I actually thought our flow was not indicative of the scoreboard. And the ball was moving from side to side, and our defense was pretty challenging. They just got an offensive rebound. They made a three. So I wasn't necessarily concerned. It was so early in the second half, and I know that we have some firepower if we just take care of the basketball and go possession by possession. Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, you look at the stat sheet, they got 15 offensive rebounds. That's something that we have to clean up. That's a lot. We knew that would be part of their game plan. Crash the glass. We didn't have Elvin Edmonds tonight, and he's a great defensive rebounder for us. And we haven't, during stretches in the season where we haven't had Elvin, we've lost the rebounding battle because from a guard position, he does a lot for us from the defensive rebounding standpoint. So the part about the offensive rebounds that's important to note here is although they got them, we still had enough endurance to contest the next shot. And so their potential opportunity to score up those offensive rebounds, we did a great job of just staying in the fight.
Yeah, I mean, I think we expected it, and we practiced really hard too, so it's very physical in practice when we play against each other. But to me, what stood out in the second half, apart from some of our other games, was our endurance. It seemed like the energy in our defensive energy and our rebounding physicality, it didn't dip like it does sometimes in other games, and I think that's why we were able to pull away with the win. Well, I think that's our calling card is our defensive energy and our defensive physicality. And if we can get stops, like Coach said, and not turn over the ball, we have the firepower to put up points. So we're never worried about the offensive end. If we can play defense, we'll be in every game. Yeah, I mean, in the moment, it could be frustrating when we're not hitting shots because of all the work that we put in and all the practice that all of our guys are capable of shooting the ball. But we know that you just got to trust the work and the shots are going to fall and keep getting each other good looks.
I think so. We had a tough non-conference schedule. We played a lot of physical teams that had really great and physical big men, and I think that has already prepared me enough, and I just try to keep growing game by game. Well, I kind of figured out that worked for me, so I try to come back to the ball a little more, and it ended up working out. Every team is a grind, as you said, because I think this was our first game when we hadn't been up double digits at some point at the game, and even in those games we lost them, and that just kind of goes to show that you got to play through full 40.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's two key statistics that most coaches will point to when it comes to winning versus losing. One is the turnovers, and one is the rebounds. And I'm really happy within our last 2 games, we had a positive assist to turnover ratio. The second part here is the rebounding. So we lost the rebound battle tonight. We're going to have to get back to the drawing board and figure out why. Was it rotations? Were we out of position? Did we get pushed under? Those are the things we have to clean up. Austin Benini is a really high-level player with a tremendous motor. He's like the Duracell battery. He just keeps going. And I think out of respect for him, we kind of created our own defensive rules that made life hard for him, and that was the goal. Just make him work for everything. I mean, the shots that he made down the stretch are almost undefendable because you're not going to be able to block him, so to say, and he kind of catapults his body into defenders. But we did a good job of keeping him out of the paint, and that was the goal.